everyone, it's Kimberly from Glen Landing, and I am coming to you from TI Communities, from the TI Enrichment Program. So tonight, you can see my little sign back here, event provided by TI Enrichment Programs. Tonight I want to talk to you about something that I think that is really relative to what's going on right now, which is a winter car emergency kit. I, for one, know that over the years I've had a few cars that have had a few mechanical issues, and so I know how important it is to really make sure that, one, your car is, well maintained, but also that, you have some things in your car that in the event of an emergency, you're able to, make sure that you're safe, you're able to call someone. Of course, you're calling for help. Hopefully you have some type of roadside assistance. But in the meantime, while you're waiting for, a friend or some roadside assistance, you definitely want to have a winter car care emergency kit. So I have gathered a few items, some things that I keep in my car. One really unique item that I definitely want to share with you all tonight. But a lot of the items that I have in my car care kit, my emergency car care kit, are probably things that you already have around your house. And you just need to find, some type of little bag or container. Even it can be like a little small tote container. I use this little small bag just because it's a small canvas bag and it's, pretty durable, and then it can stay in, the back of my car for a long time. But you can use a backpack, or any other type of, a drawstring bag, any type of bag that you have, or even a little small box that will allow you to keep these things maybe in the corner of your trunk and kind of out of the way. So let's get started. So a DIY car emergency kit really is, if you have a flat tire, if you have, like I have run out of gas before, many years ago, or any other mechanical failure. There are times when your car just stops, and sometimes we don't know why, and sometimes it's because, it needs service and, we've neglected it. Over the years, I have done that. But, right now it's really cold outside. I'm here in Maryland. It's like 30 degrees here. So, I couldn't imagine, being stuck on the side of the road waiting for, roadside assistance or anything like that, especially with it being so cold. Hi guys, welcome. I'm Kimberly from Glen Landing, and tonight I'm talking about DIY emergency car care kits. Certainly as a woman, it would be nice to have something in our cars just in case we ever get, caught in an emergency. Especially now, in Maryland, we're expecting a winter storm. I think on Monday is supposed to be headed our way. So you definitely want to, see about having something in your car just in case, if you ever get into any kind of, trouble or a jam. All right, so let me share a couple of things that I have put into my winter car care kit. So, of course, you want to make sure that the things that are in your car are in good operating order already. So your spare tire, your jumper cables are in the back of your car. Those types of items that generally come with the car. Your the bar that helps you to, what do you call it? The crowbar to help you with getting your lug nuts off. If you have one of those jacks, you want to make sure that all of those things are in the back of your car and they're all working in good operating order. Nothing is rusted out. Nothing is, coming apart. Okay, so that's the first thing. Then you want to create your own little kit so that you can have some things in your car in the event of an emergency that if you had to wait. I have been, where my car had a flat tire in the middle of the woods on the way to work about 5 years ago. And I was just like, okay, let's see how we're going to get out of this one. So, and it was a really odd situation because I was in a place that did not have a cross street close to it. So even if I called you and said, hey, could you come and help me out? I couldn't tell you where I was. So it was, really, really strange, but God worked it out. All right. So a couple of things. You want to have your things that are in your car, but you also want to have some items that you put into your car to make sure that, like I said, in the event of an emergency, you're going to be safe. So the first thing you want to have, of course, is a flashlight. So I found this little flashlight. I hope you can see it here at the dollar store, believe it or not. Cost me $1, has a nice little light on it. I also have like a little teeny flashlight that I keep on my keychain. It's like a little keychain, and you press it and it lights up. It's good for like if you're needing to put a key somewhere, if you're looking for something on the ground, in a barn. So you definitely want to have a flashlight. I believe, and I always carry one of these anyway. One, because I have kids. I carry a little first aid kit. And this actually has saved me over the years with, being out with my own kids and, being out with my friends and their kids. Of course, I usually carry some kind of antiseptic, some gauze, some Band-Aids. And here's a trick that I will share with you. This is one I've been doing for years, and it really, really is a good little tip. So I put one piece of candy in every one of my first aid kits. And so I carry these little small ones. You can get them for, $1, $3, usually from Walmart or Target or whatever. But I always put one little piece of candy. And I'll tell you why I do that. So I put one little piece of candy in all of my first aid kits because years ago, I started doing that. And I was at a birthday party and the kids were outside running around, and this little girl, wasn't my own daughter, little girl fell down and scraped her knee up. And she was like, ah, it was the worst thing in the world. So I was like, oh, okay, I have my, I go to my trunk, I pull out my little first aid kit, and I give her that one little piece of candy. So normally I keep like a Now Later or a Starburst or some type of little candy. This is a Jolly Rancher, something I probably, stole from one of my kids. And I just keep it tucked into my first aid kit. So I gave her that little Now Later. She's munching on that Now Later. I'm cleaning up the scrape. I usually keep pain relief Neosporin in here as well. So that little Neosporin, and it'll say with pain relief. I usually keep a little teeny tube of that. I put a little bit of that on it. That helps to keep that, take the ouchie out, put a Band-Aid on it, and they are usually like new. So much so that one of my good friends is actually my daughter's best friend. They were playing at her house. Somehow somebody got ran over with the wagon or whatever little toy they were riding on. And her best friend started screaming. I was like, oh, let me fix this. I pull out my little first aid kit, get my piece of candy, get my Neosporin, my magic Neosporin. And the next time that my daughter's best friend had an ouchie, some type of little, accident where she scraped herself, she says, oh, I need Miss Kim because she can fix this, and so it's just the little trick that I do, but that's a side note. Okay, so you definitely want to have, a first aid kit. You want to have a flashlight, right? So another thing that I always do, and I've been doing this one for years, is I always keep some snacks in my car. So I'm a snacker in general, so that's, something, and then when you have kids, you always snack too. But I recommend that you keep like a protein bar, those breakfast bars, granola bars, anything that's in a package that's kind of shelf stable, that will, last for a good little bit, that you can, put in your car and leave it there. So if you're ever in an event where you do have to wait for a long time, or you have your kids in the car with you and they're like, oh my goodness, sometimes it takes, 30, 40, 50 minutes for AAA to get to you or roadside assistance to get to you. And it's easier if, you have a little snack for the kids or even yourself. We never know what kind of situation, an emergency is just that. It's an emergency, and you never know what kind of situation you're going to find yourself in. God forbid you would be trapped in your car. There have been times when, there are lots of shows that I've watched where, someone has gotten, snowed into their cars, or, different, things have happened where they've had an accident and slid off the road. And so it's because they've had certain things in their car that they were able to survive. The other thing that you want to have is, some types of little tools. So I have some little tool sets and different things that I keep in my car. You want to have like some cloths, some type of little rag, or even like a hand towel. I usually keep something like that in my car. You never know. I use it for spills too, having kids. Another thing is if you'll read up like about any of the car emergency kits, it'll recommend like a lighter. You never know if you're going to need to light some flares or, anything that you may need to start a fire. Who knows what you'll need it for, but you'd want to have like some kind of little, lighter or something that you can light a fire with. When I did some research, some of them recommend bungee cords. Not really sure what you would need it for. Maybe, securing something, who knows. But I have these little bungee cords that I usually take when I'm going to like go get something and strap it onto my car some kind of way. When I've been moving things, I have a little small SUV, and so sometimes, you know, certain things don't always close, and so you can put little bungee cords on there. Some hand wipes. These, of course, are essential nowadays with everything that's going on with COVID. So you normally have some type of, you know, hand wipes or antibacterial wipes that you want to use to be able to wash up. Another thing that I do, I keep some type of clothing in my car, whether it be a sweater or a light little jacket. So I have this light little jacket that you can kind of roll up. And you want things that hopefully, you know, don't take up a lot of space, because you don't want to, you know, be using your whole trunk for, you know, all of these emergency items. But you want things that you can kind of tuck, you know, into a little bag, and you know, they'll be kind of safe and secure in that bag, and you'll be able to leave them there for, you know, some time, of course, because they're for an emergency. So you want to be able to put that water in there. You want to be able to put a granola bar, that protein bar, whatever it is that you know, would like to snack on, and they can fit inside. So you want to get some type of container where, you know, everything will kind of be secure inside of the bag. Another thing that I have, and I use this for drinking water, of course, you know, when I'm trying to meet my hydration goals, but it's this bottle that I found that has a filter on it. And so with this, if you say, for example, run out of water or use all of your water, any type of filtration system, if there is some fresh water, a creek or something like that, you're able to use this filter to be able to take that those water from those streams or whatever you can find some water if you're in a, you know, in an emergency, and to be able to make it into a little bit fresher water. And so I have this really, you know, neat little bottle with this filter on it, so you may want to consider that. And actually, I've seen a lot of these like at Ross and things, and so they're, you know, not really expensive. I think I might have paid maybe $5 for this, and so that was a really, you know, neat little thing that you could put in your emergency kit. Now, so the other thing is I normally have, you know, the little blankets that you have like when you travel, like if you're getting on a plane, or if you are on the train, or, you know, sometimes even when you're taking a nice car ride. I usually have these little small little blankets. You want to have something that if your car stops operating and you don't have access to the heat, you want to have something that you can, you know, keep yourself warm with until help arrives for you. So that's another thing that you can tuck down into your little emergency car kit. Now, here's the thing that I really, really wanted to share with you. Now, this is the one thing that I have invested a little bit in, just because, you know, it's usually just me and my little daughter in the car if I'm going somewhere. And so this was something that I actually ordered, I think, from HSN, Home Shopping Network. No plug or anything, but it's something that I found that I thought would be really helpful for me if, in fact, I ever was in an emergency, or, you know, my car broke down, or, you know, for whatever reason. So let me share with you. So it's called a Mophie, and it's this little battery that you can order. So you order it, and you know, you of course, once it arrives, you plug it in and you get it, you charge it. So with this little battery, you'll see it's at 100%. It comes with these little jumper cables. So you can actually jump your car. So if your battery goes dead for whatever reason, and we all have had that. I had that one time. I was coming out of Walgreens, went to go crank my car, and my car was like, we're not cranking, right? But if I had had one of these, and it was in the wintertime actually when it happened, I would have been, you know, in luck. So you can actually charge your car with this little battery. And I think it was maybe like $99 that I paid for it. And not only can you charge your car battery with this, so there's a little, this is the little place where you can charge your car battery, right? So you plug the ends of the jumper cables into here, and you can actually charge your car. Weird, I know. This thing is really, really small. The other thing that it allows you to do is that it has a flashlight on it. So sorry for the bright light, but it has a flashlight on it, so you could use this to, you know, signal where you are, especially like if you're in a dark area that's not really lit well, so somebody would be able to see, where you're located. The other thing, and it has a red light and a blinking light. So this is a really neat thing. Like I said, this is the only thing that, I kind of invested a little bit of money in. The other thing that it does is it has a plug on it. So if you're out and you have an emergency, this is even good for like camping and stuff like that. But I was thinking more, along the lines, because I don't really camp. I've camped once years ago when my son was in the Cub Scouts, but not really a camping girl. But nonetheless, I was thinking, if my car ever broke down and, God forbid I was on the side of the road and, once your car breaks down over your battery's out, it's not too much longer that, you're going to be able to have power on your cell phone. And so this allows you to plug up, a small appliance or some type of small item. So you have a little plug on the side that you can use to plug things in. This is actually the charger cord, but I wanted to show you that. But this is the really neat thing that I wanted to share with you. So it actually has the little USB ports that you can put your phone charger into. And right now, as you can see, it's on 100% because I charged it and I haven't used it. Haven't had to use it. But you can put the USB port into it and you're able to charge your cell phone, your iPad or your tablet or anything else that you might have that would need, electricity for. So this is the one thing that I have invested a little bit of money into, just because I thought, well, it's winter. I'm usually driving by myself or with my little daughter who's 7. So if I'm, on the road and I have an accident or if my car breaks down, my battery dies or whatever it is, I have like a little bit of a, safeguard with me, to be able to make sure that I'm okay until help arrives. I do have, roadside assistance, of course, but you want to be able to, know that you're safe and you're okay, especially when you have kids. It's like I think the scary thing for us as parents is to, think that you're going to be on the side of the road and, you got to make sure that they're okay. So that's the definitely thing I wanted to share with you. This is called a Mophie, if you're interested in it. You can, if you want to, ask any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the comments. I'll, definitely be able to answer them for you. I did watch a video on the Mophie, but the thing that I was really interested in was the fact that you could charge your, your car battery with it. And I have been where my car battery has given out on me a couple of times, and I've had to call AAA and get a new battery. Actually, I had to order a whole new battery, and thankfully at the time I had the resources to get it. But that's not the best thing, and so I keep a little phone charger cord inside this bag just to, in case of an emergency and I need to, charge my phone. Because one, you have to be able to call for help, so that's really important. But just to recap, I wanted to share. So I'm Kimberly from Glen Landing here in Maryland, and today I'm talking about DIY emergency car care kits. And I just think it's something that nobody wants to necessarily do, but when you think about it, who wants to be on the side of the road and not have some of the things that you would need to kind of stay safe, at least until help arrives. And so I have this little water filtration bottle. You never really know. I watch a lot of crazy TV and National Geographic, and so they have little water filtration bottles and different systems. But this one is kind of neat because if you have access to a water body, whether it be a stream or a creek or something, you can actually put water in here and it'll filter it through the little filtration system. And again, I think this was maybe about $5. You definitely want to have some water in your emergency car care kit. I usually do like those little Nutri-Grain bars. I also have some protein bars. And so those are things that are kind of shelf stable that you can keep. You can do granola bars, even dried fruit and and nuts, cashews, things like that you can keep, that if you're in your car for a while and you need to eat something, you'll have some kind of little snacks. But you definitely want to keep water because we know we have to be hydrated. I always carry an emergency first aid kit with me everywhere that I go. I usually try to keep one like in the glove compartment of my car, just as a mom, that's a mom thing. You always have kids, and I have a older son, and he was always like scraping himself some kind of way. I'm like, how did that happen? But what I was sharing earlier is that I always keep a piece of candy in my first aid kits because it helps to calm down the kid who has the scrape that you're trying to fix. So that's my one little neat mom trick that I like to share with everyone. Wipes, something to, clean your hands. I have had to, change tires before. And so, you get all that black soot on your hands and you're like, ugh, okay. So, some wet wipes of some kind is always a good thing. I have a little light jacket that you're able to roll up. You never know what kind of weather you're going to be in. This one has a hood on it, so even if it's raining or, I'm somewhere, my car cuts off, and of course the heat is not working anymore until you get a little bit cold, so you always want to have some type of little light jacket. You never know. Even sometimes in the summer and spring, when it gets dark and gets nighttime, that temperature can drop pretty good, especially depending on where you are. I was in Vermont one time in up in the mountains, and it was June, and as soon as the sun went down, it was freezing cold. I was like, this is crazy. So you want to have some kind of little tools. I have a couple of little things that I have here in my kit that you want to keep in there. You can do a little small toolkit. Some of the readings that I did recommended those multi-use tools. They usually come like in a little card, and they have a screwdriver and, all kinds of different little things on them. Flathead, Phillips, all of that. Even sometimes they have a little ruler on them or, some type of cutter. You want to have something like that just in case. I've been out on a motorcycle before and somebody had a toolkit and I was like, oh gosh, thank you. A little lighter. Never know when you're going to need that. If you can, if you have flares, sometimes some of the car kits come with flares and things in them, but you want to check your car's kit. You want to see if those flares are working. Your jack, your crowbar is there. Your spare tire is inflated. All the things that come with your car. And they're usually in that little well in the back of the trunk, that all of those things are operating fine. A flashlight. I usually keep a flashlight in my emergency bag, but I also have a little one that stays on my keychain that, sometimes if you're out, you ever drop something or, are looking for the keyhole for the door, things like that. So it kind of helps with that. And then I always keep these little travel blankets. One, I've always done this anyway, just because I have kids and, you never know when kids are going to take a nap in the back of the car. But this is a really nice thing. This is like one of my little plane blankets. And so, or travel blankets. And so this will roll up nice and tight and you can put that down into your little bag. Now, I'm using this little canvas bag with straps. But you can use a backpack. You can use like a little plastic organizing container, and they have them at the dollar store actually. And you can use that little plastic tote as long as you can maybe tuck it away. I have like a little small SUV, so this can, go up in a corner somewhere. Have my water, have my snacks, have my filtration bottle. I didn't put the top on that good. And this is my Mophie. And so all of this kind of fits down in my little bag that I can put. This is the Mophie power station, by the way, that I shared. And it all kind of goes into this little kit that I have made for my car. So again, here we're expecting a storm on Monday. And here lately I've been trying to kind of not like drive as much since we've been having, kind of bad weather. And then we really shouldn't be out a whole lot anyway. And I work from home, so sometimes I'm just going out just to be going out. But, when you go into the grocery store running errands and things like that. But you definitely want to have something in your car. So I am putting this into the trunk of my car, and it will stay there nice and secure so that in the event that if I need it, I'm able to go grab this, have some things available, hopefully while roadside assistance is on the way. And I am waiting for them. So again, everyone, I'm Kimberly. I am from Glen Landing. I am one of the resident education ambassadors here. And so thank you for sharing this time with me. And I appreciate you. And I'll see you all soon. Take care.